What's up, guys? We're gonna bro beats, and today I'm gonna show you guys how to get your drums to punch through. If you guys haven't subbed already or turned posting these on, make sure you do so because it helps out a lot. So let's hop right into it. So here we have a beat, and this is gonna be a pretty simple video. So I'll just play the beat real quick. Okay, just something really simple. So what we're gonna be doing is sidechaining, but I'm gonna show you a different way to do it, or just a refined way of doing it, because the old way where you just make a bus, and let me just go over here. So you make a bus, right? And then you put your instruments in here, and then you have a kick. And then people always say, oh, I'll route your kick there, put your limiter, right? And then you have all your instruments here, but that is completely inefficient. Turn this off. And what you want to do is take this a step further. Okay, and now you use that same method, but now you split it. All right, you split it up. And what I mean by that is you can take individual drums. Now I recommend doing this with like the clap snares, because those are the type of drums that cut through already. And then the kick, obviously. And you can do this with other things. Don't think you can only do this with a kick or a clap. You can do this with whatever you want. It could be another instrument that you want to cut through. All right, so we have a limiter set up. Now don't mind all these other plugins, just we have the limiter, and I'm doing this with a stock plugin because it's a stock plugin. Everyone should have it that has FL. So we have this up here, and what you can do is, well, actually, let's set this up first. So let's go to our kick, because that's everybody wants to know, oh, how to make the kick knock, blah, blah, blah. Well, what you want to do is the same process. Sidechain it. All right, or I guess you can right click and go to sidechain, but just click on this. Now, this is very important. Now, this is what a lot of people mess up. You don't leave this knob like this. You want to turn this all the way down to 0%. And the reason why is because it's pretty much going to double your kick sound, and it's going to, some people might like it, but I really don't recommend doing this unless you know what you're doing. Okay, so put this at 0. All right, and now you can route the kick to any of these other instruments. So if we want our bass, we can route it there, but you got to turn it down to 0. We can route it there, turn it down to 0. Now, don't be afraid of all the routing and stuff, because I know it can be like, oh, I might mess something up. Just trust me. Same thing with the clap. You can route any instrument, any drum this way. Now, how do we get this effect on everything? Well, let's set this one up first. So I'll play it. Literally no difference, but you'll see if I turn this up. Right? Now, some of y'all might like that. If you like that sound and you like, ooh, I like the way that punch, go ahead and use it. I'm just saying, be careful that it could mess your mix up, because you have, you know, the kick on here 3 extra times, right? And it might peak or whatever. All right, but that's besides the point. So we go to our limiter, and this is how you set it up. You should know how to do this by now. There's plenty of videos. You right click on sidechain right here, and you go to the kick. Okay. So now how do you set this up? There's 3 knobs you need to pay attention to. The threshold, the ratio, basically the strength of it, and then the release. This is really important, especially depending on what genre you want to do this on. So for the threshold, I usually, like for a lo-fi beat, I just put it at all the way to the left, right? And then the ratio, I'll play it as I go. And let me mute these so you can actually hear the difference. You see it's cutting out, and it's not really a huge difference, right? And mainly because this sound that I'm using is very smooth. All right, now you can see with the release, you can turn it up if you want the effect to last longer. And you see we can't even hear it. Now for trap, if you're somebody you just want to make trap beats, rap beats, you need to pay attention to the release, because this is important, because you want the 808 to knock, right? But if you use this regular setting, it's not gonna knock how you want it to. All right, you have to pull this release back, and I'll show you that with an 808. All right, but we just got this set up at the regular, right? Got the ratio at 6, whatever, it doesn't really matter. So now what we can do is click here, click and drag, and we can drag this on any sound that we want now. All right, and we can just set this up real quick. All right, and I really wouldn't put it on all of the sounds, but you can do this. Do the same thing and put it on our bass. All right, it's already set up. But this time, what we could do is we can switch the sounds that we want the sidechain with. So now if we want the clap, we can switch it to the clap. So say you want your kick to punch through and you want that kind of lo-fi pump effect on your pad, you can do it here, right? With the kick. And then maybe on your bass, for some reason, you want the clap to sidechain with the bass. All right, and I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna mute this so you can see what it's doing. Right, and then you can see that release will affect. Right, you can see how this can be useful. You don't have to go through and mix everything. You can just use the EQ just to improve the sound, and you can use this. And obviously there's tweaking that needs to be made, right? So it doesn't cut out so crazily, but you can see the power of this, right? So I don't really want this here, so I'm gonna just mute this one. So now the bass, and I'm gonna change the bass to 808 because this is what probably a lot of people are here for. So now we have the 808. Now I'm gonna show you how to do the 808. It's not the same because with usually genres with 808s, the 808 is the most important part, and the kick is just supposed to make it hit harder. So what you need to do is adjust the threshold a little bit. And wait, I got this set to clap. Put it on kick. Now you see the problem? I was cutting out the 808 too much. This is where the threshold comes in. So I'll adjust this first. Okay, so I think that's decent. So now what we want to do is increase this threshold a little bit. Okay, you can mess around with the ratio if you want to. Okay, and this is more useful when the 808 is playing alongside the kick on every single part, right? But mine is kind of offset a little bit due to the genre, but you can see this threshold, right? And then I would recommend going more to the left. Right, and if you want to increase the volume of the kick a little bit more, you can. Right, and then you can also use 2 of these if you want to. Don't box yourself in. You can use 2 of these as well. So if you want to sidechain the snare, you can, but you have to be careful to not overdo it. You can see mine is very subtle, right? It's very subtle. So if you want to do the clap, you can, but like I said, it has to be very subtle at this point when you add 2 of them, because then you're not going to be able to hear the 808 too much. Right, you can see it's cutting through, but it's not really, you can't really hear the difference, right? Because remember, if we put the release up, and I will argue that even sounds fine. All right, but let's stay safe and go to the left. All right, but that's pretty much it. I just wanted to show y'all that because a lot of people, they try to over EQ their sounds to make it sound crispy, but really it's a leveling problem. It's not really an EQ problem all the time, especially nowadays when people release drum kits, they already make them sound good out the box. So you don't need to EQ them all the time. All you need to do is just create a little bit of room. And this is one way that you can do it. But that's it for this video. Make sure you guys like and subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.